Alright, so welcome back to one of my 3D design videos on Blender. I'm gonna try and give you also the basics this time. As you can see here on the left, you can see all the buttons I'm gonna be pressing. This is the famous scene from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, but as a 3D designer, I like to have kind of a reference image which I copy the structure from, not the image itself. I don't want to make an exact copy of it. This is actually part of my game Snakes Shatter Stones, and I need an initial scene where there is a sacrificial rite being done on 6 different people for 6 different stones. And what I thought about this scene is that it has a really good central structure with a podium for the speaker and several people cheering at the back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy, like, literally just the structure around it. I'm gonna change the statue with something else. I'm gonna still make it quite creepy. I like the lava at the bottom, so I'm probably gonna keep that one, but change the color of the lava because I want it to be sort of like magically enhanced blue maybe. And the sacrifice will not be with hearts, but it will basically be with people disappearing and becoming stones. So I'll have stones all over the place being lit up. Maybe I'll put some of them in the whole cavities here. But overall, I like the creepiness and ecstatic feeling of this area, so I'm gonna start working on it. Alright, I took the central cube and just made it exactly the size of the cage here, so that I have a reference size for everything else I'm gonna make. So this is the cage, everything else will be according to the size of the cage. And the cage is also coincidentally the size of humans, which also helps me to have a reference of how big the humans are going to be around here. Alright, so as you can see, the bottom here is sort of circular cylindrical, so I'm going to add a mesh and I'm going to do a cylinder. So as you can see, the cylinder is not in the middle because my starting point wasn't. So I'm going to go in Item, Location, 0, 0, 0. That puts it exactly in the middle, and that's where it's supposed to be, as the cage is in the middle. I'm gonna enlarge it a lot because it has to go through the pits of hell. I mean, you won't see the bottom, but you'll see definitely the large platform. Now this platform is conjoined with some other platforms. And you can see only the cylindrical part is at the front and the rest is a square. So instead of adding extra faces by just adding a cube on top of it, it becomes a vicious circle and starts creating too many faces. I'm gonna go here and select the ones I don't want. I haven't been doing design for a while, so my hands are a bit slower than usual, but bear with me. I'm gonna delete this X, delete vertices, that's gone. Now you can see that everything is hollow. That's not how I want it. You go up here and you do vertex selection, and you select that. You press F and you get a face here. You press F and you get the face here, and then here at the back you press F again and you get the face. And this, what this does is literally just create the cube that I need at the back. So if I press E, it's gonna extend this in the direction I pull it. So I'm gonna make it quite long, and then I'm gonna do face selection, which makes it easier. Select both of them, Shift, select, you can select both, and then S for size. Actually, E first, to extrude, and then S for size and Y for direction, and it's gonna pull it like that. All right, so now we have the basic structure, the basic platform, but the room is not squared. It's kind of like a concave sphere almost. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this geometry and create an extra. First I'm gonna expand it a little bit more. I'm gonna use this shape. Just select the cylinder, nothing else, and duplicate it. So Shift D, I get another one of these, rotate R, Z, 180, and you get this shape. I'll manually pull it up like this, and then I'm going to increase the size like I did before. See what I'm getting at? Now if I pull it down, I get the right height for it. But as you can see, it's without an actual 3-dimension. It's a flat surface. So what you need to do is press E and pull it out, and that will make it thick. So when the light reflects on it, because it doesn't matter, even if you're just doing a 3D model and you do a 3-dimensional object, if you take the picture from one side, it won't matter. But the light will reflect differently depending on the 3-dimensional parts of the object. So this is how you do it. You just extrude it, make it thick, and then start working on it. If you press Ctrl R, you get this yellow line, which is basically a cut. So I'll put a cut around up here, and then I'll select, with the face selection this time, the top here. Oop. So slowly select, be careful not to select any other things, otherwise it messes up when you start doing things. And then I press S to make it smaller. See, it makes it dome shaped. And the reason why I'm doing this is that the dome shape will create the right shadows when then I light up the scene. I put another one, make it a little bit larger, and like that. Don't worry if there are empty areas that you see here. Once you look at the camera, active camera, you'll see only the area where the camera is working. So I'll put it up here. X, so I'll pull it back. Actually, I'll pull it a lot back. So I'll put it back here. View camera again. Active camera. Oh, that's too much. X. Basically, the corners don't have to hit outside of the object. GZ. GX. X, Z. See? So now the camera will only see this area. Everything else around it, it's up to your imagination. So at this point, as we've created the basic image, we're gonna start working on the details, adding more and more assets to the area. As I said, it's not going to be exactly like the Temple of Doom, because I don't want to copy the Temple of Doom, but I need an area with a crowd, basically a priest killer, a main character, not main character, the other character in the middle being sacrificed or killed, and turned into gems, something like that. So I'll have to have also some floating assets that will come in probably at some point for the animation. But anyway, I'll stop rambling for now and enjoy the little speed up video, and let me know what you think. I'll probably be introducing again the entire area once it's finished, but for now I'm gonna create a series of videos that will keep on going until the area is completely built and animated and programmed, so that this will be like an introductory scene for my game. So it won't have much interaction from the user, but it will have moving things, animations, cameras moving, all this stuff. So enjoy the video. So this is how I normally make scenes. I don't normally put all of them in the same area. This was a previous project that had quite good walking capabilities and good areas of limitation. Basically, you make a box with the collision collider. That's the area that you're going to use. And if it works, because many times it gives errors, issues, for silly reasons. For example, I had to put a collision cube here because the characters were, for some reason, appearing up here and not where I was placing the marker, and they were all together appearing, not just one of them. So that's probably an Adventure Creator issue or Unity issue, I don't know. So I put this collision box so that they just fall there and they stay there. They're not going to get inside my scene, they're just going to stay outside my scene. So let's solve that problem. Here I made a cube area, like a little room, where I'm gonna drop in what I built in the previous video, or part of the video. Then you can do whatever you want with this. Twist it around. As you can see, there's parts missing, so it's always like this. There's something that does not work. So you need to deal with it somehow. And from what I can see, probably just the material missing. So this will be the cutscene area. And the process is always messy. You don't have to be a perfectionist with this. You just have to make sure that the camera is pointing in the right direction and the color is there, the texture and everything else that you need is as you need it. For example, now the camera is too low and too far. So this point of view of the camera is literally too wide. So we're going to just pull it, try to make it enter in the area without seeing any outside issues. That I'll just rotate it a little bit downwards. Basically, you don't have to see the empty areas around the sphere. So go in the game view. That's actually too little. See in the game view. Yeah. So now you're seeing more or less what you want to see. Oh, you see the column here. nothing else. So we're gonna go back here. See, everything is in the scene, so there must have been some error in the import. And we try and export it as an STL. Let's try like this. Once it's exported, you should be able to see it somewhere here. Infinite import loop. That's interesting. Okay, let's wait and see what it does. I do prefer to do the design myself. This has a lot of bugs and programming issues and import issues, but you have to deal with this. You have to learn it and you have to work on it, otherwise you'll be stuck just making the models and never using them if you want to make a full game yourself. Now, I re-imported it as an STL, and as you can see, everything is here now. So, tragedy averted. Still a complete cube, so you're not going to be able to modify anything here from the design level. And something wrong with the columns here. Again, probably just the color. So, once you go into the object, as you can see, there's no colors, nothing there. And just make sure that the scene is well scaled, maybe a little bit bigger. I am literally on the verge of seeing that. Yeah, you see it a little bit, so you need to go a bit further down. Yeah, now you can't see the borders here. I try to make it as wide as possible so you can see the entirety of the camera thing. When it starts getting bigger and not showing the rest, it means that you've reached the border and it's still fine. Now, no colors. What do? We go in the inspector. When looking at the object itself, this one. Yeah. And as you can see, rigs, animations, we don't need any of this because it's a static object. What we need is the materials. Extract them. And I need it's taking the materials of just one. So there's another issue here. You're seeing it as one gigantic object, so again, import issue. Save the Blender file. See, the other thing is that normally, if you save a Blender file, like this one, you get the model shown. But for some reason, this Blender file doesn't show and cannot be imported in the scene. So there's something else that doesn't work. Alright, what I'm going to try and do is use another version of Blender. Maybe this one has an issue. Let's see what happens. Alright, so I exported it as an FBX file, and that changed a lot. Some of the materials are actually there, and the object is divided in several parts. It also has the camera, which I don't actually need, but I'll remove that. Kind of place it more or less where I placed it before. Also, the lights tend to be very strong compared to the ones in Unity whenever you import something, which is unfortunate. Let's see, where is the camera? This camera needs to be removed. actually gonna remove it from here. And remove this because I don't need it. It's just extra material and assets for nothing. And then I'm gonna import it like this. File, import, FBX. There you go. Hopefully this will change something. Also, all the materials will have gone because Unity doesn't actually know if you're using Extreme PBR where the materials are. But I imported the entire Extreme PBR inside Blender, inside Unity, so you should be able to find them easily once you're in. Right, so now we have we haven't changed it yet. We'll re-import it and see if it changed now. Okay, this work is endless. I don't understand why it did this. They made an FBX copy of it. This is new. I've never had this issue. So yeah, you discover new things all the time. Export FBX. Export FBX. Do not make a copy. I just wanted to show you guys, I mean this could be deleted or cropped, but I wanted to show you that you get several little issues when working on a game and it takes a lot of time away from you. So you need to be ready to have frustration, long time fixing things, and things that might seem so silly. They should be just working, but they don't. Okay, so hopefully this was exported at this point. Yes, it's doing something. See, little errors make no sense. Don't know why it happened, but it happened. So now we should have this without a camera, which kind of creates issues anyway. Alright, so textures. Let's have a look at the original file. This is where you change the textures. You may see that there is a bar 10 here. Let's see if we already have it. Bar 10, there you go. Leather 1. This, if in case one of them is not there, you'll need to create material yourself. But for now, I've recreated most of the Extreme PBR materials in here, but in case it happens again, I'll show you how to create a new one. Leather 1 is here. I have no idea what material 3 is, so we'll see after. I mean, when you don't find the material, you first do all the other ones, if it has a weird name like metal, so material 3. And then you see what's missing, you go in the original file and you try to find that one. Metal 17, let's see. Metal 17 is there. I'm so happy. It takes a while to make materials. 25, it's there. Mossy Bark 1. There you go. Now I have Mossy Bark 3. So what I need to do here, see, assets, PBR Extreme, it goes directly there. I'll show you. Okay, you have to apply the things, otherwise you can't do anything on the original, on the other files. So this will apply the materials that I've selected for now. And then we can modify the other materials. See, the metal is there, just very bright. I'm going to change the lights later, but I wanted to show you where mossy bark is. And assets, PBR Extreme Library, where is it? Extreme VR Library. Okay, so we have a bark somewhere, wood bark. So I need mossy bark 1. And there is one. It's a material, so why is it not finding it? Ah, because it's called bark 1, not mossy bark 1, that's why. Okay, so when creating the material, I didn't put the right name. And now I have to go and find it manually. Alright, so we go back to the original scene. There you go. Alright, so mossy, this is bark 1, it's not mossy bark, so it's bark 1. Bark 1. There you go. Paper. Paper is all the same, so it doesn't matter. I may even change the paper. Oh, there. I like this type of paper. So if you have a better texture in Unity, don't have to stick to the ones that I put in the original Blender file. Rock 13. Okay, let's see, maybe with space. Nope, I didn't do Rock 13. So, let me just try all of them before I finish. Water. What did I use water for? Oh, no, I'm gonna use this texture, I like this one. Dark. Brown. 1. No. Sandstone blocks. I'm pretty sure I have this. Seriously? I don't have sandstone blocks? Sandstone. Yeah, they're here. I just called them something else. So brick. Alright, so we have a few missing. We're gonna go in the file and create new ones. But you see, just a few of the ones that I change now will change the scene drastically. By making it invisible for some reason. What happened here? Sandstone brick. Ah. HDRP lit. This happens. You have to change what it is to standard or default. Otherwise it makes everything invisible. Standard. You see? Now it's back. And you go back there. Again in temple final version, enter temple final version. Here we go. faster, it's fine. Paper, it's fine. Bark. Metal 17, it's fine. What am I missing? Yeah, so that's just missing materials, but first, because I can't see what's happening here, I'm gonna just regulate these lights because they're really too strong. Intensity 10. 10. Intensity 10. See, it already starts changing the scene quite a lot. Intensity 10. Intensity 10. Blender tends to have really strong lights, and I've never been able to figure out how stronger they are. 10. 10. You might need to add or change lights after, because Unity has a different lighting system anyway. Don't need a sun, I already had one. You can't delete it, but you can switch it off. And still some really strong lights. Which one is it? There's one, a white one that is still quite strong, I think. Right there. This one. Oh. This one? Ooh, this one's so strong. Wow. That's really strong. You can go through, yeah. If you go through all of them like this, you tend to find the ones that are messy faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost got all of them. Oh, there you go. Another one. 15. Another one. 15. Another one. There we go. This is faster looking for them. Alright. That's it. This one also has to become invisible, so you don't render the mesh. There you go. Let's see the game. Okay, still very bright. Maybe I'll just delete this or turn it off. Turn it off. Okay, let's have a look. Still very bright. But the yellow lights tend to be very, very strong. Let's try like this. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the position of the sun. I think it's facing, although it's night, it's facing the statue and making it stronger, because when I look at it from this view, okay, maybe this one's too strong. Remove that one. Where is the sun? of the sun? No, it's the sound. Directional light. Alright, let's try and change the direction of the sun and see what happens. Four changes. Alright, let's try removing this one too. Maybe there's more than one sun. Let's see. Does this one have a sun? Light. This one already changed something quite drastically, but still it's a problem. That's the thing, you need to remember where you put the lights. Otherwise you have to basically delete everything. The lights are not easily found like this. That's the sun, that's the one there. There you go. That was making it bright. Okay. So what we want is a bit of a dark scene, so that's fine. We have the lava pit here. Sketch it like that. It's already looking quite good. I'm gonna add some more effects, like particle effects for this. So, as I suggested before, we need a crowd. And the way in which I normally do it is using this old Adobe Fuse system, which has been discontinued, but I still have the download and it still works perfectly. And I have no idea why it was discontinued. It's so useful. So, apart from my little rant, please make Adobe Fuse work again. This is the best way to create characters randomly that you need for any use. And right now I need a crowd. I'm using the zombie version because it has details which you can distinguish even if I have to turn this entire character black. So it's going to be a random silhouette, but it's not going to look just like a silhouette because of the random details that are here. So let's give it a little bit of modification. I don't want him to be fat or show any at all. They're supposed to be kind of very trained priests or fanatics in the scene. Let's give it a bit more of a exotic zombie look. And the nose. That looks okay. Don't have to do much with it. And then we're gonna have several of these. So what we're gonna customize now, it's the texture. So skin. Want it completely black. Makeup. We need makeup, sound effects. That. Teeth. You're not gonna see them because it's gonna be back facing. Maybe not. Maybe you want to see the teeth. I'll make them a little bit darker. So you see them, because maybe I can put him as the background person behind the main guy. Detail diffuse. Fish black. Zero visibility. Less visibility. Shift. works. Interesting. It's the back that interests us. This skin color needs to change. Where is this color? This one? Yeah, like that. Okay, so need everything black. And I wish they didn't have this cover here, which makes it look, but you're not gonna see this really. You're gonna just see the very top part up here. It's reflective a little bit. It's good. Now let's see, this looks like a good match. Now we're gonna do an export. That's OBJ. Big map. And we're gonna have characters. We're gonna call this crowd. Hope that's how you spell crowd, I forgot. Alright, exporting it as an OBJ. So this saves us something. Now I'm gonna fire up Adobe Fuse on Mixamo online, hopefully still working, and we're gonna rig him. Ah yeah, it doesn't have a cloud anymore, so send to Mixamo. Alright, so I uploaded it on Mixamo. Now the only process you need to do in here is tell it where everything is. Wrists, elbows, knees, groin. Next, it's gonna rig it for you. So trust me, this is super speed for creating characters. Normally we need ages to rig the character and do all the details, and because especially for generic characters this is good, but even if you want to make a very good detailed character, I still propose to do an Adobe Fuse character and then import it in Blender and add all the details you need. As you can see, it's rigged, it's moving, looks quite natural movement. All the animations in here are amazing. Now we need him cheering, it's part of a crowd. Let's see if there is anything about cheering. Cheering standing. Come on. Yeah, this one's good. And you just download this character. And that's all you need. You have a rallying character. Let's have different animations so we can have I like doing a lot of sitting cheering here. Yeah, I like this one. We're gonna have this one too. Each one of the animations will be easily imported in Unity, and you can use it to create whatever scene you wish. You can put it on repeat, so they're going to keep on doing it, and that's it. That's the simplest way you can do animations in Unity with characters that are barely an inconvenience to create. Right? And we're going to go into Unity and I'll show you how it works. So I transferred the animation file and I already experimented it just to make sure that I wasn't making any mistakes. There is a person that actually animates and moves here, and I'm going to show you the second animation how to do it. So you don't go, I placed it in characters, crowd. And as you can see, I have already one animation like this, and now I have another one that's called rallying. which I will place here. Always places it in the wrong direction, but eventually gets there. So you place the character, resize it to be as big as the other one. For me, it doesn't really matter the size of these guys right here, because it's more the perspective. So if they're not the right size for a human, it doesn't matter, because the camera is going to show them as the right size anyway. So I'm going to place him here. As you can see, it's all white. So you go here, have a look at the main character. Rig, you place it as humanoid, because it's a human. You apply. So that's going to put the skeleton of a human in here. So it moves. Animation, it has its own animation, it's called Mexamo. Place it on loop, so it's going to keep on doing it when you actually animate. And you can see it here. It's going to be looping and doing the same animation all the time. Okay, then you go in materials, and as you can see, there's no material, but we have one here somewhere. Here, this guy has a material. It's called pack material, and that's the main character that I made last time. So it's going to be in the file. You place that, you apply, and it's going to become dark like the other one. Now you go in crowd again, and as you can see, it's all done, but there's one particular thing that you need to do in Unity, and this is for anything that gets animated, including characters. And you place create animator controller, and you call it crowd 2, I guess, because the other one is crowd 1. If you go in animator here, right click, create state empty, you'll have a new state here. There's no motion. So what you have to do is go in the character, find the Mixamon animation, and drag it here. Now this animator will basically tell the game to excuse me, that was a bit of dust. Basically you tell the game when it starts on entry, it starts directly animating a new state. No button press, nothing, just as it starts. So this will now animate if you place the crowd animator 2 in the animator controller of the object. So this is all set, should be great. Let's give it a play and let's see what happens. And as you can see, there's two people here doing their animation, and one of them is moving. So foot IK needs to be disabled, otherwise it will keep on moving. Let's try again. You don't want your characters to move around the scene. Yeah, you see? So now it's not gonna move. Foot IK basically tells it that the animation has an effect on the physics, so the character will move as it animates. Now, how do I make a crowd? Very simple. I take these, Control D, and I create more of them. Control D, create more. Control D, more. If you want to make it look like they're a bit different, just rotate them. And this will be background scenery, so it's not like people are gonna notice that the people are the same. But it's gonna make an amazing effect by having multiple people animated and moving. We also need to make sure that it doesn't have an effect on the from the engine itself, because if it does and there are too many animations going on, then the game is going to slow down a bit, like putting too many polygons. So let's see. I mean, it should be fine up to a certain point, but depending on how it slows down, we'll just diminish the animation. Also, you see that the shadows are here, quite interesting effect. You get this animated effect on the shadows. Let's have a look. See? This is a crowd. And everyone is moving however they want, in the effect that that you actually want to have, and the shadows there kind of give a really cute effect at the front. So I'm gonna continue working on this scene, and in the next video I'll probably show you the entire scene without spoiling too much, because this is part of the main game I'm developing. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it was useful, and like and subscribe if you like this.